an entire family vanishes, including these small children. They're Isuzu found at the border. What do we know?
Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the McStay family. So the McStay family was just your average happy American family. The family consisted of Joseph and Summer McStay and their two boys, Gianni, 4, and Joseph Jr., 3. The family lived in Fallbrook, California. They had moved there just less than 3 months before their disappearances. The father, Joseph, he owned a company called Earth Inspired Products, and then the mother also was employed as a real estate agent. The family disappeared from their home in Fallbrook, California on February 4th, 2010. Their extended family tried to get in contact with them, but no one was able to. That February 4th was the last time Summer's sister and Joseph's brother report having contact with them. Summer and Joseph are shown to have texted each other around 5 p.m. that day. Fallbrook cell phone towers pings Joseph's phone and shows that he made a call to an employee at 8:28 p.m. That employee was Charles Chase Merritt. This is going to be important for later on in this story because, he plays a part. So on February 10th, the police conduct a welfare check on the family. The deputies do not go inside the home, but advise that there is no signs of foul play. Then on February 13th, Joseph's brother, Michael McStay, travels to their home and gains access by climbing through an open window in the back of the house. He did not find any of the McStays at home, but he finds their 2 dogs in the backyard unfed. On February 15th, the family is reported missing to San Diego County Sheriff. There's a search warrant that was executed on February 19th for the McStays' home. Homicide detectives conduct this investigation but say there is still no signs of foul play. I guess when they say that, they mean that there was no, struggle or anything that they could identify that had happened in the home. But there is something really strange about the home. While there is no evidence of foul play, it appears as if the family had left the house in a rush. There was a carton of raw eggs that had been left on the counter and 2 child-sized bowls of popcorn sat on the sofa. It was believed that the family had taken an extended trip to Mexico, but some things weren't adding up. So let's rewind because I kind of skipped past a lot. So let's go back. So on January 28th, 2010, someone using the McStay's computer searched for information about travel to Mexico and passports for children. We have no idea whether that was actually the McStays themselves or whether that was someone else. I mean, even if they did plan a trip to Mexico and even if they were planning on taking their children and getting them all these, passports and stuff and preparing for it, they actually didn't tell any of their family, which is why they were so worried. I just think that's an important thing. We honestly don't know. So on February 4th, 2010 at 7:47 p.m., a neighbor's surveillance system captures the bottom 18 inches of a vehicle. It was thought at the time to be the McStay's family 1996 Isuzu Trooper. The vehicle was shown leaving the cul-de-sac that they lived in. The police then learned that around 11 p.m. on February 8th that same car had been towed from a strip mall parking lot in San Ysidro, San Diego. And that's near the Mexican border. It was believed to have been parked there between 5:30 and 7 that evening. There's no information on where the car was before that. So time goes by, and this case is not involving only the officials in San Diego, but they have gotten the Mexican officials involved as well. There is a video released on March 5th of 2010 by deputies, and it shows images of a group of people who look very similar to the McStay family, and they're going hand in hand into Mexico through the pedestrian gate. This video is dated around 7 p.m. on February 8th. Investigators were literally baffled by this disappearance because a lot of it didn't make sense. Why had they left in a rush? Why were they headed to Mexico? Why didn't they tell anyone they were headed to Mexico? What were they running from? If they were running to Mexico and staying there for an unknown reason, there were so many questions in this case, and it was literally such a huge case at the time. They just assumed that maybe the family had made their way to Mexico voluntarily, and unfortunately, 4 years later, there was a break in the case that revealed that that wasn't true. The remains of the couple and their boys were found buried in 2 shallow graves in the desert near Victoriaville in November 2013. This was a finding by a dirt bike rider, and he was just riding through and he found their bodies. An autopsy revealed all 4 had died from blunt force trauma to their heads. There was a sledgehammer in one of the graves, which is likely the murder weapon. Investigators believe Summer was sexually assaulted at the time, as her pants were in the grave near her head. There were also incisions in her bra that led investigators to believe that it had been cut off. On November 5th, 2014, detectives arrested Chase Merritt in connection with the deaths of the McStay family. They discovered that his DNA had been recovered from the McStay's car. And so basically with this, there are several theories on why he would want to kill them, but one of them was that he had a huge gambling issue, and he had actually gotten some money, I believe, from the McStays, and he had spent it, he had gambled all the money away literally in like a week, and he had like a huge gambling issue. And so maybe that was his reasoning behind killing them, because of this whole gambling thing, him, taking money, maybe wanting to steal their money, who knows? Like, there is no real rhyme or reason as to why he killed them. And some people even say that it's possible that he didn't kill him. Like, there are actually blogs out there that are kind of not defending him, but, coming up with evidence against, him being the one who committed the crimes. And so basically, in my opinion, I honestly think he did it, and I think what he did was try to cover his tracks by, the calls, and also maybe by the, like maybe just setting up like their phones, because he was like, apparently, I mean, they had to be close if they're like business partners, but probably not close enough to have like your DNA in their car kind of close, but they had to have some kind of relation. And so, I don't know. You can honestly look at it online right now. The trial is going on, and there's tons of videos on YouTube that show the trial and like what's happening in the trial, and I've been looking at those as well, and it's really interesting. If you guys want to watch and you guys haven't looked at trials before, it's really interesting. So yeah, some other strange things was that it's reported that, okay, before the McStay family, they had lived in an apartment, and it was like, they were paying like $800 something a month. So like pretty cheap, I'm thinking, because I pay more than that. And, if I was paying $800, I'd be, like, oh, but yeah, not the case. So they're paying like around $800 and something, and they weren't able to keep up with their payments. And it doesn't make any sense that they weren't able to keep up with their payments, because they literally go from living in that apartment to living in a house, and then it's found that in their accounts they actually had like $100,000 in their account, which who has $100,000 in their account and can't afford to pay $800 for an apartment? So I don't know, people think like, oh, maybe they were like, or maybe like the dad was doing something he wasn't supposed to, or the mom was in, and they're like some kind of family like of secrets, I don't know, but I don't like to talk badly about the dead, especially people who were obviously murdered and had their lives taken away from them. They can't defend themselves. And so I don't know, just throwing out some theories, and say if it wasn't Chase, maybe they could have been like, maybe the family doing some of the bad things they might have been doing that could have gotten them twisted up in something. I don't know what I'm saying. Honestly, I don't know. This case is really confusing. Like, literally the only suspect that they have right now is this Chase guy. Chase is like his nickname, I believe. And so basically that's all we really have to go off of. We can't just make assumptions based on their bank account, like how much money they had and their past living. You can't just make assumptions like that. And so right now, I don't know, the case is out. We're gonna see what happens to Chase. I'll do an update video on that definitely once all the trial is over. And yeah, comment down below what you guys think about the case. I find it very interesting, and it's still, to me, it definitely is a mystery. Like, I wanted some like solid information on what happened to them. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.